To all a good day, I'm Jay Jose, and this is In Case You've Been Living Under a Rock. In case you've been living under a rock, the Oscars have become an extremely hot topic these days. Like, I can hardly scroll through my feed on Facebook or Twitter without seeing the hashtag OscarsSoWhite. Now, in case you've been living under a rock, you might be like, what does that even mean, Jay? It means that despite the numerous films that came out in 2015, out of all the nominations, all of them were white, like completely white, like a cotton field in the fall white. Now, for me, this comes as no surprise because the Oscars are kind of known for their shenanigans against people of color. Hattie McDaniel back in 1939 was not allowed to even attend the ceremony, even though she was the first black person to win an Oscar. And I think in less than a century, for us to think or expect that they're going to change their ways or lighten up a little bit and start letting in more black people, it's kind of wishful thinking. Hollywood is really good at giving us a great pitch on diversity in the film industry, but they're horrible on the execution. When you look at films like Gods of Egypt and Noah, I didn't even see that movie. Places that are supposed to be relevant to the Middle East and African continent, you end up with white people telling the narrative. Jada Pinkett Smith did go online and express her sentiments about the situation, about the nominations for the Oscars, stating that begging diminishes dignity. Will Smith did the Today Show, and he allied with his wife, stating that he will not be in attendance or watching the Oscars this year for the exact reason of the lack of diversity. And a lot of other very prominent actors, producers, and directors did echo what she said. Director Spike Lee backed her up and stated that although the scripts are written and the actors and the talent is out there that tells the narrative from people of color, those scripts do not get the green light from the studios, and so it's up to the studios to start greenlighting those projects. Now, it is for certain that Chris Rock will be in attendance this year at the ceremony, but that's partly due to the fact that they probably already paid him and he already cashed the check for him to host the show. But Janet Hubbard, Stacey Dash, and Raven-Symoné may possibly be one of the few trickled black pepper seeds in a sea of salt that may be attending this year's ceremony. They've all made it pretty clear that they'd see no problem with diversity in Hollywood and that maybe the nominations were just good films. I still haven't seen The Revenant yet. Coincidentally, those three young ladies have been nominated for this year's Take a Fucking Seat award. To sum it up, a quote from HBO's Bessie, starring Queen Latifah. In the South, white folk don't care how close you get, as long as you don't get too big. In the North, white folk don't care how big you get, as long as you don't get too close. So, tell me what you think. Do you think that Hollywood has been exhibiting quite a bit of that sentiment? Or are we just being a little bit too sensitive? Oh, I know y'all about to go in on this one. Go ahead, comment below, like, subscribe, share. Once again, to all a good day, I'm Jay Jose, and this is In Case You've Been Living Under a Rock.